You are watching Fan Facts.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm Damien.
I'm Phil.
And this is Fan Facts. Fan Fact number 1. Fire Matt Canada.
Oh man, why have we not done that already? Why did I wake up yesterday and he still had a job? Why is he still employed?
So you agree with firing Matt Canada?
100%.
Yeah, Phil, I gotta say, I agree with firing Matt Canada as well. 12 points a game after we just went through 3 years of rebuilds, and we're still only scoring 12 points a game.
And we gave him the offense he wanted.
We gave him the offense to want, and that's why we have Mitch Trubisky. That's why we have Kenny Pickett, because that's what he wanted.
Yep, he wanted Pickett, he wanted Trubisky, and he wanted to jet sweep, and you see the result.
And we get 12 points a game. 12. I am 100% on board. Fire Matt Canada today. If he's not already fired when this show's done taping, and then fire him later today. But just fire him.
Just fire him, whenever. Just send him his walking paper. In fact, you know what? I will fly me to Pittsburgh. I'll hand him the pink slip gladly.
In fact, we have a contest coming up. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have a fire. Fan fact number 2. Kenny Pickett is not the QB that we thought he was.
It's tough for me because I've never been a Pickett guy. I'm not. When I say that, I don't mean that I was like, oh, well, I can't believe they picked him. We should stick with Mason. It's like I was just kind of like, okay, well, that's where they're gonna go. We'll see what happens, because I always feel like you should see what happens. But I've seen no brilliance out of him. There's other quarterbacks when they might have had a rough first year, but it's like, oh, I see a flash of brilliance here. I see a flash of brilliance there, right? I see none of that. I see none of that out of Pickett. I see great 60-yard passes to George Pickens because nobody expects us to throw down the field. With that said, I do feel like Pickett deserves one more year with somebody else who's not Matt Canada and maybe not Mike Tomlin.
I am not sold on Kenny Pickett at all. But hearing you say that, maybe he deserves one more year without Matt Canada, I can agree to that.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on him. I agree. I haven't seen those flashes of brilliance. One of the things with him coming into the league is that he was supposed to be ready to play.
Yeah.
He was older, more mature, ready to come in and play, and he's not. Now, is that Canada or is that Pickett? Is it both? I'm willing to say I don't know, but I think that if we get rid of Canada and Pickett still struggles, then we have the answer.
Then it's Pickett. Because at that point, then it's like, okay, well, we got rid of the problem, and you're just still not producing.
Yeah. So I'll say this: I'm not a huge Kenny Pickett fan, but were we to give him another season, I would be okay with it just in case he could be winning.
Another season that's not somebody who's Matt Canada, because it's like and with that said, it can't just be like the first 4 games well, he's struggling. It has to be the whole season.
Yeah, without Canada.
He has to develop as that season moves along.
I'll agree. I need to see development.
Exactly, and that's what we're not seeing right now.
Speaking of things we're not seeing right now, fan fact number 3. Fire Mike Tomlin. We are not seeing any wins, any progress, anything better than these 9 and 8 seasons.
The standard is the standard.
Look, I'm a huge Tomlin guy, so I'll start this one off. I'm one of the biggest Mike Tomlin fans there is. I'm a huge Tomlin guy. But anymore, I'm starting to notice that we're not winning games. In fact, we're losing games, and Mike Tomlin is now, you're seeing it, being out-coached. And this week he was out-coached by a rookie quarterback. Or a rookie, I'm sorry, well, it was a quarterback. He was outcoached by a rookie quarterback. Outcoached by a rookie coach, D'Amico Ryan. So I know that one of the big saving graces that you hear in Pittsburgh is like, well, who are we going to get to replace Mike Tomlin? Well, there's obviously better coaches there's obviously better coaches out there that are capable of beating him, as we just saw.
Yeah.
So what are we so scared of? I know that Pittsburgh doesn't like change. It's why we keep the coleslaw on the sandwich. And look, it's a delicious sandwich. No one's ever going to say that's not a delicious sandwich. But there's other delicious sandwiches out there. And maybe it's time we try one.
Listen.
So when I say fire Mike Tomlin, I would be comfortable moving on. At this point, I've seen what Mike can do. I love Mike. I like everything he's done. I've seen what he can do. I'm comfortable moving on and risking getting another 9 and 8 season with a different coach.
I was a big Mike Tomlin guy for a very long time. I actually thought in some ways he was better than Bill Cowher.
I still do.
I think, even though I don't like him, I might agree to a point. But it's, again, he got outcoached by D'Amico Ryans on Sunday. his defense got picked apart by Blake Bortles in the playoffs. He lost. He got outcoached by a coach who wasn't there a couple years ago in the playoffs. Mind you, those last two I mentioned were at home. It's been time to move on from Mike Tomlin. His ideas don't work anymore. His players don't respect him.
No, we don't know that.
Well, I mean, we
don't know that. I think the players do respect him.
They might respect him, but they like playing for him. And I mean, he's a great motivator.
Great coach.
I'll give him that. But at the same time, you look at what he has done lately. That Super Bowl was now 15 years ago.
Yeah, that's it.
And that, to me, was like, okay, it's time to move on. Like,
and I love keeping us competitive. I love everything he's done. I think it's impressive everything he's done for the rebuilds. But I think that, like, maybe that's just it. Maybe he's a great coach you need for rebuilds.
Exactly.
Like, once you get to a season, he might not be able to coach a season.
Listen.
He can only coach through, like, conflict and struggle, which is amazing. But, like, I need someone that can coach us, like...
We need somebody for today's NFL.
Yeah, it's today's NFL.
Like, he was great for the 2007, 2008 NFL. He was great for that. Like, he was very sound mind. The game has changed quite a bit. And listen, Andy Reid had his expiration date in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You know, Bill Cowher, thankfully, kind of knew which way the wind was going and got out of there. And, you know, nobody knew who the Philadelphia was going to get when they got rid of Andy Reid, and nobody knew who we were going to get when we got Bill Cowher.
Yep.
If Mike Tomlin leaves, I don't know who the answer is. All I know is there needs to be a change.
And I think there is an answer out there. As we clearly, I don't know who it is either. I don't know what the next delicious sandwich is. I just know that there is another one, and I know that doesn't have. I've had so many sandwiches without coleslaw on them. They are good. You know who else has sandwiches without coleslaw on them? Donny Blawnox. Here's Donny Blawnox with Market Dom.
Thanks, Damien. Hello, and welcome to a very special Jimmy Butler Emo, The Sky is Falling edition of Market Dime. We couldn't find a sponsor this week, but we're coming to you live from the Red Robin Inn in Pitcairn. When the Baltimore Ravens illegally stole their team from Cleveland, they found immediate success, just like Bill Cowher and Baker Mayfield. And then they decided to name their team after an Irish poet born in Boston who married his 13-year-old cousin. His most famous emo song was called The Raven, which teaches us that nobody's coming to help you. And nobody's coming to help the Steelers this week. But it will be the last week you ever see Matt Canada coaching as an NFL coach. Mark it down. And the humiliation will continue all Sunday because Harbaugh will be taking Matt Canada's own playbook to beat us with it. Expect Zay Flowers to get a rushing touchdown on a jet sweep. Mark it down. The Steelers will cover the spread, but lose the game. Expect it to be Ravens 17, Pittsburgh 14, mark it down. And I believe the world will be okay once the bye week is over and my wife Linda lets me sleep in my house again that I paid for, when she accepts my apology for breaking my entertainment center because Kenny Pickett got hurt on 4th and 1. Linda, you know you can watch Desperate Housewives on the computer. Just let me come home. I love you. Mark it down.